Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
Jimmy Mack is a renowned medical intuitive and spiritual life coach who has taken, completed, and even mastered a variety of healing modalities. After a near-death experience, he was shown and developed a simpler way to create healing and profound changes, now known as My Liquid Fish. He works with clients in person, on the phone, and over Skype worldwide, accessing energetic powers and co-creating changes that you can actually feel. Call in now to reserve your spot on the switchboard. The call-in number is 713-955-0594. Press 1 if you would like to ask Jimmy Mack a question. Enjoy this 1 hour of profound healing.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Mack coming to you live, Clearwater, Florida. We're on the West Coast, Pinellas area, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. And hopefully today, folks, we're going to get some rain, it looks like, at least in the morning. We sure need it. Of course, the whole U.S. needs it, and some parts are getting too much. You just never know. Most people, know about the global warming, except the folks that could probably do a whole lot more about it. So anyway, it's kind of interesting and funny intuitively anyway. We're thrilled you're here. We always have fun. Every Tuesday at noon is when we're on. And every Tuesday, I have a different co-host and guest with me, and we talk about them. We make the show more about them, of course, but we love taking live callers, and that's really what this is all about. It is an hour of service and help and contributions. Everybody could call in looking for a healing or a message from Spirit. So we're glad you guys are here. We always have fun and look forward to it, and I'll get to my guests in just a minute. Anyone that wants to reach out to us, it's info@jimmymackhealing.com. If you're not already on our weekly e-newsletter mail list, you want to get on that. There's just a ton of information on there. It's always free. And there's things on there to read, watch, and listen to. They're always inspirational. We hope to keep you stirred up and moving forward in spirit. And whatever that is to you, however that works out. Next Tuesday, we have Michelle Bowen. She's all the way from Australia. She'll be on with us live. She's a theta healer and an intuitive and a reader. And I think she's going to be at plus 13. And what that means to those of us who talk to people around the world is it'll be noon here, and I think it'll be about 3 in the morning in the middle of Australia the next day. So how funny is that? Bless her heart for being on. And the following Tuesday after that's May 16th. That's Kim Camellia. She is a psychic and astrologer. We look forward to that. May 23rd will be Sandra Sullivan, and she's an intuitive reader out of the Carolinas area in the U.S. And, of course, the 30th of the month, can you believe there's 5 Tuesdays this month, folks? The last Tuesday of every month, I have Reverend Debbie Dean Spear on. She is a trans medium, and it's so cool. She speaks with those who've crossed over on the other side. It's generally our most popular show, and we just have 1 million callers and people on hold waiting to talk to their loved ones who are in spirit. And I always find it fascinating to hear that show and to be with her. A couple months ago, a woman called in from Texas, and she told the woman, "Your mother, Chris, is here." I mean, who does that? You know, just amazing right out of the gate, stranger, Yeah, your mother Chris is here. Oh my gosh. So it's always fascinating, folks. We love it. Reach out to us. We'll be glad to help you, contribute to you in any way that we can. We've got a lot of audio MP3s on the website, jimmymackhealing.com. Those are all about everything from sleep to sex to pain to whatever you got going on. You'll find a topic in there that will work for you. You can always find us also at myliquidfish.com, and that's our method for creating profound change and making it really simple. It looks like a Tai Chi or a little yoga move once you figure out how to do it. And it's really a dream. You would love it. And it just amazes me more and more every day. And we are going to come out with a certificate of completion for folks that want to work on themselves and others, and also practitioner training. We just had the practitioner handbook printed. And that's for folks that are already in practice. Might be an acupuncturist, massage therapist. You might have a healing practice of your own already where you're seeing clients or patients every single day. And that may appeal to you because it is supplemental. We're not asking anybody to quit anything they're doing now. We're just saying, hey, this will really enhance what you're doing. So I'm excited about today's guest. It's my long-lost friend, and he and I both have done each other's radio shows, Jeremy Riden. He's an intuitive and a life coach, and he always inspires me. He's just excited about stuff. My mother will be, I think, 89 Christmas Day, and she always says, I like happy people. I like people that smile a lot. I like people that are at least bubbly and upbeat. So that's my buddy Jeremy Riden. So, Jeremy, how are you today, friend?
As your mom wants on a Christmas morning. It's good
What's
to be
going on, bud?
Healing show.
Yeah, I'm thrilled you're here, believe me. Hey, when you getting down this way? I thought you were going to come down our neck of the woods.
I was supposed to get down there. I lived for about 12 years in St. Petersburg, Clearwater. I call it paradise on this side of heaven. Right now I'm in Grand Haven, Michigan, which Grand Haven, Michigan was voted the happiest seaside town in America this year. So, if you're looking for a great place to vacation, come to Grand Haven. But I'll be down there here in just a little bit, Jimmy, and I'll make sure to give you a call.
Yeah, that's awesome, friend. I love it. Hey, tell folks what you do, what your experience has been, just a little nugget, the elevator speech of the life of Jeremy.
Well, I have a saying, everyone, heal deeply and live fully. I'm all about encouraging people to release their full potential in this world. But I know on the side that it isn't always easy, Jimmy, to live a very happy life. There's a lot of things, a lot of baggage that people are handed to them from their parents, from their family, from situations. And what I do is I just help people to get rid of the baggage, to heal their soul story so they can change their life story. I'm an intuitive. I'm a minister of the spirit and the universe, and I just really just help people get into their God-given talent, their purpose, and their own unique calling, and just do all kinds of stuff like you. We just do all kinds of stuff to just really make this life the best possible life we can have.
Love it. Yeah, well said. Now, you started out more traditional like me. I was Episcopal and took a quadzillion courses in religion and spiritualism and different things, and you did that as well, right?
Yes, you were. I came from the more spiritual side, more outgoing, the Pentecostal realm, and
I love it.
Always loved Pentecostal. For those that wonder what Pentecostals are, they believe that God fills you with the Spirit, and they speak in the heavenly language, and they shout and they dance, and they believe in divine healing, and so some ways I was really blessed because my upbringing taught me that I could have a direct connection to God for myself. I didn't have to go necessarily to a priest or anyone else. I could go to God just by myself. The baggage is there were a lot of rules and regulations on what you could and couldn't do, which really kind of made life not even worth living. It was no fun. So I'm thankful for my upbringing that taught me that we can go to God, but I'm also thankful that I learned that God wants you to actually enjoy this life. Anyone listening right now, God's got your next life taken care of. You just worry about enjoying this one.
Well said. I love that. My almost 3-year-old granddaughter I didn't share with you. You can laugh over. And she left with my son after visiting here one day. And she told my son from her little car seat in the back, she says, I love going to Grandpa's house. There's just so many ghosties there. Isn't that funny? I love it. I love it. So, but it's like, no one's told her yet. Yeah, no one's told her yet that you can't see them, right? It's like, stop seeing them, right? So amazing.
How much could we do if people would not tell us what we couldn't do?
Right. I love it. And I don't know about you. I mean, I had just a wild near-death experience every night, ICU. I had very profound experience. Looked like the Hubble Space Telescope pictures. That's the kind of cosmic soup, if you will, I was looking up into. And I share with everybody and bring in even like your upbringing. And I don't think the more I do this, the more I realize I don't think everybody has the same experience. Some people would see the white light, maybe Jesus or whatever. You got a kid that's on the African plains and a tribesman, and he grew up his whole, he's probably, when he passes, he's riding an elephant through a stream, and life is beautiful, and there's grass, and, who knows. And then the Pentecostals, the Lord knows they're seeing a completely different deal. If you went to Pentecostal, 3 days and 3 nights a week, and that was your life, you better believe you're not seeing anything like I did cosmic-wise. So I find it very interesting to talk about that.
Well, Jimmy, I was just reading last night in the Bible, and there's a scripture in Psalms that says, if you see yourself faithful, you'll see God faithful. If you see yourself as loving, you'll see God loving. And it just goes to what you're saying right now is we're all wondering what God looks like. Take a look in the mirror. How you image yourself is how you'll experience the divine. That's why I want to help people heal deeply. I don't want you to see God as a judgment God because you see yourself as guilty. Let's see yourself as innocent, as forgiven, or as learning. That way there's no blocks between you and the cosmos or the universe. And I love what you do because your radio station is helping people see God in a broader perspective by also seeing themselves in a better perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said. And that's the way I look at it too. And the more open you can be this sort of thing, it's like, everybody's like, oh, where's my sign from God? It's like, you've had 3 crows and 4 phone calls and 50 things going on. Those were all your signs from God, And so, the signs are everywhere. We just have to be somewhat more quiet and still and ratchet down that mind chatter, that monkey chatter, so that all that can come through. And I like what you said too. It's really true. Look in the mirror and whatnot. And I feel like we all have that little spark of God in all of us. And as long as you're here breathing, believe me, you are fully connected to the spirit world, and stuff that goes on is just, amazing.
I agree.
What's been going on with you as far as you want to at least give folks your phone number, your email, so they can reach out?
Well, yes. Well, Jimmy, you talked about something where you said, there's signs everywhere. We just don't, we're just not looking for them. And I wrote a book called Your Soul Story, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted. And in many of those chapters, I talk about intuition, which is that still small voice, that divine spark in you that is always putting out a signal for your attention. And so I tell people, pay attention to coincidences, pay attention to synchronicities, pay attention to themes that run over and over again. These are little messages of the universe. I'll give you an example of how it played in my life.
Sure.
For those that know my story, in this last year, my brother went through a botched surgery that was supposed to be in and out, and it left him paralyzed. And the nerves were cut wrong, and it took a divine healing for him to even be able to walk again. I had literally for a year, the wonderful producer Tiffany Whitesage woman was such a godsend in encouraging me this last year, but I literally had to help retrain my brother how to stand, how to walk, how to take a shower. I mean, it was just a very trying time in my life. But God was faithful. The universe was faithful. Every time that it looked like, where's the money going to come from? Somebody would, his work would take up $6,000, or somebody would drop this off or that off to let me know that the universe God had my back. And so what I'm saying about intuition, though, is that we were needing to move into a new place in a new city, because after this year, thank God, my brother finally did get his ability back. He's about 95% better, and after a year being off of work, got to go back to work last week. So I'm so excited, but I needed to find a place to live. And so I told, and everyone, I'm telling this long story to teach you how to follow your intuition. I had a dream, and in the dream I saw the word Comstack, and I'm like, hey, James, let's go look at these apartments on Comstack. And he said, well, that's not a road. And I said, well, I kept thinking there was a place there, and I was wanting to find a property management that could rent out houses. We were in an apartment at the time, and we were driving around, and lo and behold, we ran into a street that was named Comstack that we didn't even know. And I went down that street, and there was a house for rent, but it had a sign, and it was a property management company, which I had not been able to find in this area of Michigan. And I got that number, and that led me to a home. And so what I'm saying is pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your hunches. They're just like a domino effect. Your intuition works like dominoes, one thing after another. But listen, the dominoes only work if you're connecting them one at a time. If you try to, you can't make the 29th domino fall without letting 28 hit you first. And so I'm rambling here. I know it touched somebody. How can you get a hold of me? You can get a hold of me at 616-795-5999, or Jeremy Riden, Riden, like riding in a car, at gmail.com. And, that was a long way to go about answering that question.
No, I want to hear it because, that's important to me. And, it's the same thing I would say. And you remember the passage from Corinthians, of course, and that is to some the gift of spirit and speaking in tongues, interpretation of tongues, prophecy, healing by the laying on of hands, and it just lays it all out, And so it's interesting because people will ask me almost every day, what's my gift? I'm like, I don't know. What do you like? You automatic clothing, like tarot cards. What is it you really, really, really enjoy? Oh, Jimmy, I really enjoy colors and numbers. Okay, well then you better be reading numerology, right? So kind of interesting. Yeah, and people.
Scripture, Jimmy, it says that it's all done by the same Spirit, though. So the one that does the work of prophecy is still being used. So what I'm trying to say is, for all those different religions out there, it's the same God. It's the same universe. It's the same world. And so if we would stop focusing on the messenger and pay attention to the message, we all be doing works of miracles.
I love that. Yeah, that's a profound way of saying it. I was talking to some ladies, gorgeous ladies. I was getting ready to go to dinners and movies and things with my friend last Friday night, two gorgeous women, and they were so sweet and so funny. And, one was Jewish, one was Gentile, whatever. I said, forget about all that. I said, I want you to imagine the same God, Spirit, Holy Spirit, all that's up in the atmosphere, and then it comes into each little human being and little fawn deer and beautiful bird here. And I said, and then we all go, oh, we're part of this religion or this whatever, but it's all the same God, It's all the same mystical, magical spirit.
Amen.
Yeah, well said. Hey, we'll take a caller, 727. I certainly recognize that area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Rachel.
Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I just wanted to say I was very inspired from hearing what your last caller said. I can definitely relate to that. I mean, just as of this morning, I had a very positive interaction with someone, and I'm sure there will be more. I've definitely had some struggles in the past year or several years, and I've definitely looked to the powers that be to send me down a sign that it was going to get better. And I think that's happening in my life. And I think the power puts people in your life to help you make it happen. So I definitely believe it to receive it. I just told someone that last night. So I definitely see a positive action coming in my life.
Hmm? Do you have a question for Jeremy?
No, not really. I just wanted to call in. I was very inspired by your show, and I just wanted to let you know that. So.
Well, I appreciate it. You want to at least feel what the energy feels like? You want to stand up?
Yes, totally.
Stand
I
up,
feel it all
face
around
north.
me. So.
I love it.
Yes.
Well, you're about to feel it a whole lot more. So stand up, due north. It's strong mountain pose and yoga. You might have heard of that. So put about a foot in between your feet there.
I do yoga, and I do a lot of biking and hiking, and I enjoy nature. I enjoy painting. I enjoy literature.
Okay.
Yes, so
good.
That's
love
my
it.
thing.
Well, if you're standing up right now, it's going to pull you forward for yes and push you backwards for no. So I want to do what comes through for you immediately. It's about receiving, so you can just say that I'm open to receiving all the best life has to offer and see if you feel a drift forward or back.
Yes. I'm
forward.
open to receiving, that is for sure.
And pulls you forward?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And then we'll do deserving. I'm deserving of all the best life has to offer, and it could go forward, back, or in between.
Right. I
Forward.
see it forward. I have a positive. I feel a very positive vibe working in my life right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been pretty down, waiting for something, you know. And I think I feel that around me right now, and I'm definitely ready to receive it.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, that's bound to help you right there. We appreciate you calling in, love.
Hey, Rachel.
Thank you.
When you called in,
yes,
I felt such love around you. I felt such love surrounding you, and even angels bringing love, even just shooting all kinds of love energy at you. And I preached this Sunday morning in St. Peter's Evangelical Church in Galene, Michigan. And the scripture in Ezekiel 37 said there was a bunch of bones that were scattered everywhere. But the Spirit of God came, and he put the bones back together. And the message was only Spirit can put the broken pieces of your life back together. And I really feel like there's been a puzzle where some things have not been fitting, and you've been trying to force it because like I need this, and you do need it, but it's you not been given a fair hand because there's been some missing. You can't complete the puzzle of your life because there's some missing pieces. But I feel Spirit saying that the pieces are going to show up. You're going to find them. And you're going to know the right people, the right places, and the right thing, because it's going to start to. And it's like, have you ever tried to make something work and it didn't? But then you took that piece of puzzle, the right one, and it's like, oh, look at that, Rachel.
And then it just happens, and then it's like, wow, that just happened to me this morning, actually. So I definitely feel it at work in my life.
Well, we thank you for calling the Jimmy Mack Healing Show, Rachel. You keep listening. You keep telling your friends about this show every Tuesday at noon, and we'll look forward to hearing you call again, okay?
I sure will. Have a blessed day.
You have a blessed day.
Thanks, love.
Back to you. Listen to me. Here I am advertising the Jimmy Mack Healing Show every Tuesday at noon Eastern time.
I love it. Listen, I did a show with you one time. I'll never forget it. I saved it. It was so profoundly wild, and it was a nighttime show, and we just were covered up with callers. It was very interesting, and a woman called in from somewhere out in the middle of Missouri. It's a true story, and she went on and on and on, depressed, sad, whatever, and her mother came through a message through Spirit, through me. I said, your mother's here. She's like, how do you know it's my mother? And I said, well, she's talking about she's a Cancer, her astrological sign, and the girl was like just quiet on the phone. I said, are you there? She goes, yeah, my mother was a Cancer. I go, well, that's, and she was into astrology and blah, blah. I go, well, that's what I'm telling you. And, I don't know you, Betty Sue Jones. So there you go.
Well, I absolutely love that. God used Jimmy.
So outrageous.
I'll never forget the time when I was first on your show and a lady called in and Spirit said, you got a lying man in your house, you need to get him out. And everyone in the audience was like, oh. And I said, it's not your husband. And they're like, oh. I've come to find out she had an apartment upstairs attached to her house where the person living there wasn't being truthful. And so, you know what? It's exciting. Folks, get in touch with spirit. Get in touch with the universe. It is never a dull moment.
That's well said. I said to somebody the other day, I don't know what these other folks do. You know, they go, oh, we're going to go to lunch, and then we're taking Sparky to the vet, and it's our bowling at night. And it's like, oh, my gosh, right? You got to be kidding me. I want to live it and breathe it and see the flowers and the trees and feel the wind and be so in tune with what's going on. And you and I are all about helping and contributing to everybody all the way to the door, you know, and that's really what it's all about. It's just much more exciting and a fulfilling life.
You know, Jimmy, I feel to say to someone in the audience that may be listening today or later on through the MP3 later on, Jimmy just said a very important thing. He says he likes to get out in nature, look at the trees, look at the flowers, look at the life force that is flowing through everything. You know, some of you need to get out of your synagogues, your temples, and your mosque, and you need to spend more time on nature trails, more time under the stars, more time looking at the blossoms on the trees. And I know that my producer right now, or Jimmy's producer, Tiffany White, Sage Woman, is like, yes, tell them. And so for all those that are having sickness in your body, go barefoot in the grass. Take time to breathe deeply outside, and you will have the best. You won't need, sometimes we have anxieties and people take pills, and I'm not against medicine. Really, some of us need to slow down, get in nature, breathe a little more, and you'll feel the stress leave that body. Stress is what keeps you from being blessed, folks. You cannot allow stress to stay in your life. It's deadly. Whatever you do, get out in nature, de-stress, and watch the blessings of God flow. Back to you, Jimmy.
I love it. Well said. And, so many folks now, too, are into the earthing and just putting their feet in the ground, like you said. It makes a tremendous difference as far as discharging off all this extra static electricity. I wear, a Phillips Stein watch. It has to do with the reverse polarity and all the stuff that's going on. It discharges all this extra electromagnetic, and we're surrounded by it, folks. You drive a car, it's got a battery in front of computers all day. I've got a handheld phone. I mean, the TVs, the overhead lighting, it's like, if you stood there, it would pull you backwards and show you the negativity. But if you wear something as simple as an ionic bracelet or a Phillips Stein watch or anything that's going to knock down the negative ions, all of a sudden it pulls you forward, even if you got the phone up to your ear. So it's kind of interesting. But, they've even, Jeremy, they've got mats now where they look like little fake grass, and you plug that in, believe it or not, and you put your feet on that, even when you're in front of your computer. How funny is that? And it's as if you're outside.
That is neat. I've never seen that.
Grass. That's a true story. There's a mat out right now with that. So I just think that's it's called an earthing mat. So it's profound, but it makes a big, big difference. Yeah. And I'm like you. We all need to do it more, just kind of back up from all the electronics and all the rest of it. We're talking about this weekend going to see the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Folks, you got to go see stuff like that because it gets you out of your mind for a while. If you're in outer space for over 2 hours, trust me, whatever you were hankering and upset over and hand-wringing over, you can't even remember it when you're watching stuff like that. And the cutest meme picture somebody sent me the other day on Facebook, it was Kurt Russell, who's in the movie, and of course, Chris Pratt and Sardano, the girl, and they're all in just full regalia makeup, and there's a million extras behind them and a green screen and everything. And Kurt Russell's sound asleep, and the other two are texting on their phones. So it's just so funny in between takes, right? Somebody took this picture, and I just thought, what a scream, right?
Don't you have on your website, Jimmy, a list of all different movies that you recommend, or was that somewhere else?
I sure do. You got such a great memory. You're like me, and I remember.
Can you tell everyone out there your website again and tell them where to look? Sure. Folks, listen to me. This sounds crazy, but the advice that Jimmy gives about watching movies is some of the best advice I've ever heard, and I've never seen it anywhere but through the Jimmy Mack Healing Show. Where's that at, Jimmy?
Yeah. Yeah, just JimmyMackHealing.com. And you can find all kinds of information in the About section about that. We have a tips section as well, I believe. And if you just send me an email, info@JimmyMackHealing.com, we'll send you the list. But there's so many movies out there, and I have probably 80% clients of my clients are women, 80+%. And they'll always ask me, Jimmy, how can I get, Freddie Joe, my husband who's like a bump on a log, into any of this stuff? And I said, you know what? You can't convince him to go to me. You can't drag him to all the little metaphysical shops, but you can slowly leak all this in through movies, music, video. I love YouTube, right? And anymore we have the attention span of, two spirits on cappuccino fighting in a rocking chair. So, you want to do the shortest ones, right? But there's so many movies out there. You want to see, What the Bleep Do We Know with Marley Matlin and different movies like that. Or the I Am was produced by and filmed by the producer of all the movies with Jim Carrey, And so
I'm getting something that's kind of funny right now, Jimmy, but this is for some ladies out there that are trying to get their husbands into some of the spiritual stuff. Most men that I know like reading in the bathroom. Get you some, instead of all that girly stuff, get you some spiritual magazines, put it on top of the toilet. Trust me, that man, when he gets bored in there, is going to grab something and read, and that's another way to get stuff in there.
Well,
the Bible says go to the throne room, right here at Jimmy Mack.
Right. I love it. There's some spirit for you folks. Yeah, I even did a book. I created this one book. It's Tell the Fish. It took 7 years to write it. And you flip to whatever day today is, May 2nd, and there's going to be a healing story in there and an affirmation at the bottom.
I love that. That's
book.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll give you a copy when I see you, friend, but it's all good. And, if we just get a little piece of that spirit, even in the morning, it does make a big difference. So that's very well said. I love all the movies. You got to watch stuff like that. And, even like the movie The Secret, I've worked with Reverend Michael Beckwith, of course, from Agape in L.A., co-authored a book with Bob Proctor. All these folks emanated from The Secret. And, the real secret, wink, wink, is, hey, we're all connected to God, be still and know that you are God, that kind of thing. And the more you can get into that, the more mystical, magical signs you'll see.
Hey, Jimmy, let me give a quick praise report. Last night I was driving to Grand Rapids, Michigan with my brother. In the middle, out of nowhere, it became pouring rain. The kind of rain where you're driving, folks, you can't even see in front of you, not even a few paces, and you're like, oh no, what's going on? And then coming down so hard, like cats and dogs. And then it was so full. There were semis everywhere. There's cars everywhere. Even though you can't see them, they're all around you because it was during the rush traffic. And halfway through there, getting Grand Rapids, the Holy Spirit said, you need to get off on this next exit. Just get off on this next exit. And I'm like, it didn't make sense to my itinerary. It didn't make sense why we get off, but I just felt this hunch. And I got off the exit, and as I slowed down off of the exit where there was a gas station, just as I got off, I had been going 70. It slowed down to 15 miles an hour. As I slowed down, my tire blew. And
wow.
I'll let you know. This happened last night. If I would have been going in that pouring rain in the middle of that thick traffic, 70 miles an hour, and that tire blown, the story could have ended much differently. Trust your hunches, even if it don't make sense. Trust your intuition. Folks, even if you get it wrong sometimes, that's okay. Don't allow them getting it off the mark to mean that it isn't real. You know what? Because one day it's going to be on the mark and it's going to save you. And I just wanted to say that. I wanted to give that little testimony, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And, we see signs like that all the time. We're not even looking for it, and people are so funny. They're like, Jimmy, how do you do this 7 days a week? And you're so busy and you got a radio show, blah, blah. And I go, hey, it's not roofing, not the plumber, hauling toilets out. That would be brutal. I don't need a nap, I'm somewhere between both worlds all the time in the ethereal world anyway. I feel high as high can be 24/7 walking around, right? And so the more you're in that state, I feel like the more shows up for you energetically. And more mystical, magical fun you can have too. And so that's a great analogy, though. I'm thrilled that worked for you.
Jimmy, I was preaching, as I said, Sunday out of Ezekiel, the Valley of Dry Bones. And in that scripture, it says that the Spirit of God came to the man, and he said, prophesy to the wind. Speak to the wind. And the wind in the Bible is a symbol of the Spirit of God. And he literally said, command the Spirit to enter into these lives. And so, folks, don't allow your past church bad experiences of religion stop you from communicating to the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, God, universe. So many times we're wanting a deeper walk, but we don't know how. Get back to partnering with the Spirit. Get back to speaking every day. Don't go a whole week without communicating to the universe. Tell the universe exactly what it is you want. If you want, if you're looking for a husband, be specific on what kind of husband you want. You can get a loser. Well, it's a husband. No, be specific. Be bold. Be brave. The universe responds to action. It responds to faith. It responds to confidence. So even, I used to say, and I didn't like it, but I get it now, fake it till you make it. Folks, just, I'm not saying you're going to be down. You're not going to be depressed, but don't live there. Feel the feeling without becoming the emotion. I can feel sad without having to be continually depressed. Let feelings come out of you, but speak the things that you want into existence continually over and over and over again. The law of attraction doesn't work through just casual thoughts. The law of attraction works through dominant thought. Dominant thought comes into your mind by what you're continually talking about, what you're watching, the shows that Jimmy just talked about. So for those of you that feel things like, man, I wish that I could do what Jimmy does, or I wish that I could see more of God working in my life, stop waiting for someone else to do it for your life. Do it. Love yourself enough to do it for your own life. Do it for yourself. Just start speaking to God again. Guess what? He's ready to listen, and he will speak back.
Well said. I love it. Hey, we'll take another caller, 727. Hey, I know that area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Debbie. I'm calling
from
my car.
Oh, we love you. How are you?
I'm doing much better today, though I'm in a garage again, getting my car worked on.
Oh.
So the universe loves work on my car. Yep.
Right? Oh, my gosh. We got to see that is getting better. Did you have a question for Jeremy?
Yeah. Well, I do a lot of work, and I've seen a lot of transformation right now in everybody's lives. And sometimes I wonder if there's an easier shortcut with helping other people to open up. Like I have a friend on dialysis, and there's so much financial hardships for people on dialysis because they have to have $20,000 in a bank account before they'll let them have a transplant. So if the person doesn't have money, then they don't get to go on a list. They're just told, well, you're just going to pass away.
That's absolutely terrible. I just want to say that right off. That is absolutely terrible.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is. And,
go ahead, Jimmy. I'll let you lead the way.
So, can I know I hold prayers for people that help them with their healing, and Spirit can say it's all coming together, and we just stay in that faith because I know that it works. It definitely works. But how can I help those people to see things clear, like for my friend David?
Well, I'll say a little bit, and I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy, who's really good at the healing stuff.
He is.
First of all, let me applaud you. The work that you are doing is absolutely vital and important, and most of our healers out there don't get the praise or the support that they deserve. Thank you, Debbie, so much. Thank you for what you're doing. Also, we need healthcare in America, folks. I'm going to put it out there, plain and simple. If you're born, you should have healthcare. I don't care how we get it or what we do. I don't care what you're, Republican or Democrat. Being a human being, you should be able to have medicine given to you, and it should not be for profit. Healthcare should not be for profit. But I'll leave that alone. I'm going to go into the healing part. Your question was, how can I get people that are going through dialysis, going through financial problems, how can I open them up, to get out of that state and create money and create healing and wealth? One of the things you have to do is you got to remind people that are sick and dying that they're still people, that they still have see, what happens is when somebody comes cancer, hi, I'm Jeremy, and I got cancer. No longer am I Jeremy,
Yeah, they claim
I'm cancer.
Yeah, they're
So
claiming
what happens
it.
is you got to get people, even if they're sick, and everyone out there listen, you got to get your eyes off of me, and put your eyes on others. What are you talking about, Jeremy? The Bible says that whoever giveth to the poor shall be made rich. And so when you, the worst thing you can do when you're poor is to become stingy, is to become fearful. You say, I got nothing I can give. You got something. I don't care if it's the green dollar back. You got a phone. You can call somebody. You can encourage somebody. You can make donuts. I don't care. But you must do something to give. Give. Why, Jeremy? Why? Because giving brings generosity. It brings gratitude. Gratitude is what heals us from cancer. Gratitude is what heals us from dialysis. And so, once again, get your people that you're working with, remind them that they, even though no matter how hard they're going, and then I know it's hard, I'm going to turn over to Jimmy, help them to get their eyes off of their sickness, even if it's only an hour a week, and put it on somebody else. Help somebody else. And that will trigger the blessings of the universe in their life. It will remind them that they're more than their sickness. It will give them joy, encouragement. There's nothing like helping other people to make you feel good. And feelings is what helps raise us out of that situation. Great question. Thank you for what you're doing. Jimmy, I know you got more to add.
Yeah.
So then I just really need to tell them to just concentrate on me because it's all about me.
There you go. Well, I'll speak specifically to that. The dialysis piece is kidney, and kidney, even in Chinese medicine, is all about fear. So you really have to wonder what they're fearful of, and, as much as you can, you know how to fish, so you fish that off of them. Anybody like that too, ever, that you want me to work on, I would work on them for free. You know this. And there's plenty of folks I work on for free every day of my life. And folks, this is about contribution and service. And I got what my mother calls terribly wealthy clients, and politicians and sports figures and first-name movie stars. But I got to tell you, thank God they, keep the lights on so that I can do little sessions here and there for the folks that absolutely need it and have no money. But I would get them out of a fear state more than anything. But healthcare's got to change, certainly in this country. And, it's a mess. There's no doubt. And, my mother and what we've gone through with even my mother. And it's just, folks, we don't have time for that in this show, but it's really quite interesting, all the stuff that goes on. And anyway, I'll just give you a snippet, 2 snippets y'all can at least laugh over. And sometimes to me, it's a comic relief. It's actually a stress reliever. My mother has a particular health plan, and it's Medicare, Medicaid, and, all these different things, and prescription and blah, blah, blah. So we get on this one plan, and we're all set to go in her dentistry, and we roll up to get these things done, and they said, oh, Jimmy, they paid for it with all the old plan. We actually got approval, but your new plan doesn't pay for all this dental work. Can you imagine rolling up there, 88 years old and talking to the little sweet dentist, and he's getting ready to pull my mother's last little tooth in the top left corner. And I said, whoa, what's the plan? And they all looked at me, and you could just see the blood run out of their faces because there was no plan, you see. And so imagine getting ready to yank her last tooth in the top left corner with no plan. And it's like, hey, I didn't even play a doctor on TV, and I sure didn't want to do dentistry today, but time out, folks. I'm the only, one with a brain in the room that says, hey, don't pull the last tooth until we have a plan, please. So that's the kind of stuff that goes on. And I'd add to that, you can laugh even harder. My dear sweet friend of 30 years is down in South Florida right now, and he's in the hospital and deathly ill with pneumonia. And I tease him because, that's what about killed me and caused my near-death experience was pneumonia. So I told him days before he went in the hospital, I said, you got pneumonia, you better get some antibiotics. And folks, we're not as scared of Western medicine, you know, we want to be in accompaniment with it. We're for the people that you tried 5 different meds and had 3 different procedures and nothing's working. Well, then you definitely want to, instead of showing Mack, say, what do the angels say, you know? And so my friend down there, imagine he can barely breathe. He's got full-blown pneumonia. He's a mess. He's not well at all. And he's had diabetes for about a year. So Saturday morning, bright and early, he was having a vision. This angelic-looking girl walks in my hospital room. And he's like, yes. And she was the pharmaceutical rep for a new injectable pen for diabetes. Can you imagine? And so, like, they're going room to room now in the hospital going, hey, here's the latest, newest thing, wink, wink, you know, and do this. And he says to her softly, get out. She's like, what? I won't repeat what he said after that, but, you know, she needs to leave.
Wow.
So, like, wow, you guys are going to run around doing that and let somebody sit on the, you know, kidney transplant list instead as they die. You know, it just makes no sense, folks. So we have to have some sort of change in the country as far as all that goes. Jeremy's right. It's almost like, you know, hey, if you're born here on U.S. soil, congratulations. You at least get generic America health plan. If they took Medicare, Medicaid, and just made that open for everybody, you know, even that would take care of it. Honestly, it would. So anyway, they'll figure it out. You know, healthcare doesn't even do a 10% increase every year. It's more like in the teens lately. So they got to reel that back down and see what they can do. You know, I even have a book. It's A to Z, similar to Louise Hay's book, and it will have it in there. It's healing A to Z. So it'll have in their kidneys. It'll have in their dialysis. It'll have all those different things. You want to look those up, I'll gladly give you the book. And it'll have affirmations and things in there that actually help the kidneys and help what that your particular client or patient is going through.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great.
And I'll help you work on them, love. I'm glad you called in. We'll say prayers for your car, too.
Thank you.
Thank you, hon.
Well, get this. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. I don't know if we lost her or we're moving on.
moving on.
Here we go. Hey, Spirit said it's time to go. Hey, our next caller is 954. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I am in Largo, Florida, and my name is Cindy Reel.
Cindy? How are you, Cindy? You have a question for Jeremy?
I sure do. I just had surgery, disc removed from my neck, and I'm in the healing process now.
Okay.
And with my neck, the bones were removed, and they put 8 screws in there. So, yes, I'm going through healing with that right now, and after that, trying to get my business up and going. I am a reader. I've been reading for 45 years.
Oh, wow.
90% accuracy. And looking to get my business started up here in Largo, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, got some health situations like the neck surgery. And I wanted to get through that first before, you know, I tried to start, you know, moving forward with building a clientele. So I'm kind of wondering, you know, where's all that going to go for me? And if it's going to work out here in Largo, Florida.
Well, let's go ahead, Jimmy, and let you do a healing on her to begin with, and then if I pick up something while you're working on her body,
there you go.
We'll go from there.
No problem. Cindy, you want to stand up, face due north? Are you okay with that, love?
I'm right there.
All right. If you face due north and you just say, my name is Cindy, you'll feel the pull forward.
My name is Cindy. Okay, I got you.
All right. And if you say, my name is Nemo the fish, it'll pull you backwards.
My name is Nemo the fish. I'm already going backwards. Wow.
Love it. Okay. That's spirit. That's the spirit stuff we're playing with. I know, right? It's crazy. I do it all day long. It'll always be crazy to me, but it's crazy good, I promise. So here's the thing, Cindy. Always when anybody tells me things like that, there's an acceptance period, believe it or not, on people that have had things replaced. So I don't care if you had a knee operation, a hip, you're talking about having titanium screws put in your neck, I get it. And folks, you got to go to surgery, I get it. But here's the weird energetic problem. The body generally doesn't accept these parts, whether they're silicone, titanium, what have you. They almost freak out over, hey, what's this new thing they're cramming in here, right? And so you definitely want to have more harmony within all that. And, maybe to the MDs it sounds kooky, but it does make a huge difference. And, otherwise, every time it rains or the barometric pressure changes, you would wind up with headaches or neck pain, or you just want to sleep for 3 days, right? So we want to get you out of that. So let's just make this statement and see how you test forward, back, or in between. My neck has accepted the screws and hardware.
My neck has accepted the screws and hardware. And my neck has accepted the screws and the hardware.
Forward. They're pulling you forward?
Yes. My
Awesome.
neck has accepted the screws and the hardware. I
feel a hard pull forward. Yep. Awesome. So watch this. The screws and hardware have accepted this body, and see if you go forward, back, or in between.
The screws and hardware has accepted this body. The screws and hardware have accepted this body. I'm moving forward on that one.
Forward. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So at least that's all lined up. Does that make sense? So I feel a weakness in the neck right now, and it's because they have to cut through a bunch of different areas to get to that. And so you can just say right now, my neck feels weak, and see if you go forward, back, or in between.
My neck feels weak. My neck feels weak. A little bit backward, but not much.
Okay. So that's good. We're going to make it even stronger pull backward. I just changed it really fast. You can say it again. You'll feel a harder pull back.
My neck feels weak. Yes, I'm going back on that one. Ooh.
A lot harder. Okay, good. So then I would drop in positive strength, and you can say, my neck feels strong.
My neck feels strong. My neck feels strong. My neck feels strong.
Forward, back, or in between. Okay. Good. I'm going to make it even stronger for you right now, okay?
Okay.
You can say it again. You'll feel the pull forward harder.
Okay, I'm going.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah,
awesome.
I think we're coming off the floor again.
Oh, I love it. Okay, good. Well, that's the spirit pulling you off the floor, I promise.
Yep, I know.
Awesome.
Very good.
Well, reach out, honey. You're local. I'll help any way I can, okay?
You're sending a lot of energy my way because I can feel it in my body. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's us kind of poking around and seeing if we can change things. The more you can get past the rehab stuff, too, and really do a little exercise, if you know what I mean, the better. And I don't mean, I'm not talking half marathons. I'm talking elliptical where your whole body's supported and you're just moving your arms and legs and feeling supported. That's going to go a long way. They're also immediately showing me the beach, so anything you can walk in that would be forgiving, like the, soft sand, that would be really, really, really good for you, too. Jeremy?
Well, I'm telling you, that was awesome. Really, really awesome. Cindy, since he's taking care of your body, and let's go ahead and take a look at your business, because you had questions as far as when to start that up, what's holding that back, and this and that. So what I want you to do is repeat after me. What should I do?
What should I do?
With my business.
With my business.
Real quickly, give me 3 numbers, 1 through 9.
8.
Okay. Really, this is great. I'm a master numerologist. 8 says that the outcome of your business is money. Lots of money, lots of promotion. 8 is about being the boss, and it's about taking control. And so the question now is, if your body is healing, what should you be doing? You should be taking control again. You should be going after it and really doing it. Now, what was the second number that you gave?
5.
5. 5 tells us that what's holding you back from being successful in business is that your energies are scattered everywhere. And so with the sickness and with the health and probably some of the other crises that have been going on in your life, you've not been able to focus. And so that's what's been holding back the prosperity. Now, what was the last number that you gave?
2.
2. 2 is the number of being sensitive to other people and also partnership. So what's going to help you remove the block of scattered energies is to look for people to team up with that can help you focus on your gifting again, help you be sensitive with people. In fact, since you're doing tarot reading, the different readings, this means that you need to get back to being sensitive to other people's feelings, reading for other people, partnering with other people in their life. And so if you put yourself out there as focusing on partnering with other people by being sensitive to their feelings, it will move that scattered energy and it would allow you to let the business begin to prosper again. And so that's kind of right now. So right now what I would do is I would focus on partnering. If the universe brings you some people to partner with, get back to being around people. And then 2, focus. And 3, take control of the business. Go after it because the outcome is great finances being coming your way.
Great. Oh, that's wonderful because I have about 3 weeks to go with the healing of my neck. And, yes, I'm just trying to get out there to get my reading started up in this area.
And real quickly, if you would reach out to our producer, Tiffany White-Sage Woman at GoldilocProductions.com or LCC. Either way, get on Facebook, get on Jimmy Mack's site, and it'll show you the Goldilocks thing. And she works with many people on helping them get their own business started again in the holistic and spiritual fields. And she's always looking for experienced talent as yourself.
Wow. I've been reading for like 45 years.
Well, she is someone to definitely look at, and anyone else that you know is a good reader, have them look at Goldilocks Productions. That's with the Y, and you'll see there's a lot of opportunities to help people take their spiritual gift into a more financial business. Well, listen, I'm going to turn it back to Jimmy because we only got a few more minutes. Thank you for calling, Sugar.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, and you have a great day.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, honey. Thanks for calling in. You can reach out to me. info@jimmymackhealing.com is my email. So send me an email. I'll be glad to send you more information. It's all free. The things we send out are for people to read, watch, and listen to. And we appreciate you calling in, love, okay? Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Thank you.
You bet. You too. Bye-bye, honey. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for being on the show, friend. I really enjoyed it. You make it fun.
Thanks for having me on the show. It's always a blast being on the Jimmy Mack Healing Show and seeing what you do.
I love it. Hey, tell folks again your email address and a phone number to call for a session.
Right now, I'm not doing sessions. I'm taking a sabbatical this summer. So if you want to get
how
me,
to get
you'll
your
have
book
to get me in
then.
the fall. So I'm taking a sabbatical, and so what we'll do is the next time I'm on the show, Jimmy, I'll give that information, and we'll start taking clients from there.
Awesome. Tell folks the name of your book. They could at least get it on website or Amazon.
The name of my book is Your Soul Story, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted. It's on Amazon. And you can reach me, folks, on Facebook, Jeremy Riden. The last name is Riden, Riden. And, in the fall, we'll be looking at getting more clients again. But until then, everyone enjoy this fantastic summer.
Love it. Thanks for being with us, friend. Hey, folks, that's going to be our show for today. We sure appreciate everybody listening and calling in. We always have a ton of folks on hold listening and callers, and you always make it interesting and fun. Join us here every Tuesday, 12 noon. If you're not already on the mail list, get on it now. info@jimmymackhealing.com. I want to say to everybody, may the rest of your life be the best of your life, and remember to make progress every day. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Napa know-how.
A Napa guy knows more isn't always better, unless we're talking about full-size vans. These beasts do more than get you from A to B. They have so much space a man can live in it. With shag carpeting, waterbed, and a sweet lava lamp, these mobile abodes have all the comforts of home. With quality parts and plenty of Napa know-how, you can keep the original tiny house running longer, stronger. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.